The early 2000s marked an exciting and transformative time for pop music. This period saw a rise in many young actors who began launching music careers, blending TV fame with pop stardom to huge success. This trend helped shape the pop landscape, introducing a new breed of artists who were talented in both acting and singing. The explosion of teen pop primarily focused on catchy radio-friendly hooks and relatable lyrics about young love and coming-of-age themes. The genre was incredibly profitable, and companies like Disney quickly saw the opportunity to leverage their own young stars. Shows like Lizzie McGuire and That's So Raven provided actors who had a built-in fan base and were able to make smooth transitions into music. Lindsay, who had been a child actor herself, took advantage of this opportunity and released her debut album Speak in 2004. In this video, we'll take a look at the creation and rollout of the project. If you enjoy hearing stories about eras gone by, hit the subscribe button to be notified when I next upload. Now, back to the video.
You ready to be a big famous celebrity?
I guess. I don't really think of it that way. I just think of myself as like a normal kid, so.
By 2001, Lindsay Lohan was not just another face in Hollywood. Already a known actress with The Parent Trap under her belt, she was ready to take her first steps into music. Her website, lrocks.com, hinted at an upcoming album. Although the album never arrived, Lohan had started recording demos with Emilio Estefan Jr., a seasoned music producer, known for shaping major careers alongside his wife, Gloria Estefan. Then, in 2003, Disney came calling. Cast in the lead role for their Freaky Friday remake, Lohan was now more than an actress. She was a musician too. She learned to play the guitar and recorded Ultimate for the soundtrack, her first real introduction to music fans. The track performed well on Radio Disney, reaching number 18 on their Top 30 chart. However, Lindsay made it clear this was only the beginning. In 2004, Lindsay was back in the studio, now fully committed to her debut album. Her writing began that April, and she was hands-on in every way. Her vision was a fusion of hip-hop and rock, blending her interests into a unique sound. By this point, Lindsay's initial partnership with the Estefans had ended, and she was on the hunt for new collaborators. She revealed meetings with several major labels had taken place, including Jive, Universal, and Bad Boy Records. However, by the summer, Lohan had officially signed with Casablanca Records, a division of Universal Music Group. Lohan's album began to take shape with the help of acclaimed producers Cara Dioguardi and John Shanks, who co-wrote and produced 10 tracks, 6 of which Lohan co-wrote herself. This marked a fresh chapter in her musical journey, one that would soon lead to her debut album and solidify her transition from actress to pop star. Darkchild was one of the first producers approached to collaborate on the album, bringing his signature sound, which blended pop, R&B, and dance elements. Jerkins worked with Lindsay on an early demo titled Extraordinary. Due to scheduling conflicts, the track was never completed. While working on the album, Lindsay secured what would be her biggest role to date, Mean Girls. The film, which became a cultural touchstone and solidified her status as a teen star, required a considerable amount of her time and focus. This delay meant that her album, initially expected to drop sooner, was pushed back. The young actress had been juggling multiple high-pressure projects, including filming Mean Girls and working on the album. At the time, her schedule was demanding, with long hours on set and in the recording studio, leaving little time for rest. This would result in Lindsay being hospitalized for exhaustion, which sparked media attention and raised concerns about her health and workload.
There was a point where I was just just like trying to make everyone happy and just promote everything and get my album done and work on the set and then do photo shoots and everything. And it was like, this is great. Like, this isn't a bad life to have. This is what I want. But at the same time, it was just draining me. I mean, when I shot my video Rumors, I worked 24 hours straight through one day. And then the next morning I had to go to set and I just physically couldn't go. And there was like this whole pending lawsuit and stuff because I had to be at set and I didn't show up. But I just physically couldn't go. My body just shut down. I was just so tired. I hadn't been sleeping. I hadn't been eating right. Just all of that stuff was going through my head. And it was a lot all at once. Instead of resting, I was like, well, it's relaxing for me at my age to go out and dance with my friends or go out to dinner or go out and see a movie. But I wasn't taking the time to just stay home and not do anything because I felt like I was missing out on something. And LA kind of does that to you in a way. When you're in LA and you hear everyone's going out, you're like, oh, well, what's going to happen if I'm not there that one night? So I realized that I needed to rest after being in the hospital. They can say it was drugs or anything they want, because that's what I was hearing, or meningitis or whatever. You know, it's when you get tired. I'm 18 and I'm still growing, and my body can't handle like going out and then working and doing all that stuff. And it's hard for someone at 18 to reprimand themselves and say, I can't go out tonight. I need to stay in. I need to go to bed on time and get that 9-hour sleep because it's necessary once in a while. But I know that now, and that's what's important. You know, you live and you learn, and that's what's great about growing up.
You have laryngitis right now?
Yeah, I'm getting over it. I was in New York, and I was like traveling, and I've been working a lot, so I'm struggling to get my voice back.
That's hard because you're promoting the album, and you have to keep singing, so your voice is suffering, and you're going into different climates all the time.
Exactly. But the good thing was we wrote these songs based on how my voice is when it's raspy anyway.
So
So
that's a
because
good
when I was
idea.
doing the movie, I was always like sick during that movie. I was working so many long hours, so it was good.
Yeah, I was always one of people that write songs that have really high things that they just are mad at themselves that they wrote it that way.
Yeah.
That they
It's
have
like,
to.
how do you do that when you're singing live?
Yeah. No, but it's and so now you were hospitalized recently for exhaustion?
I actually recorded this song right before I got sick in my trailer on set. I recorded half of my songs on my album in my trailer on the movie set and at my house.
Wait, you were recording an album while you were doing a movie?
Yeah. I was getting up at 5, going to set, recording throughout the day, and then shooting all day, and then recording at night at my house or my friend's house. And
Until what time?
till like 12:30 sometimes.
Uh-huh.
That's why Kara, who wrote the songs with me, she's here, and she's like, I can't believe how it came out, because it's like hearing it finally is amazing.
Yeah. So, well, that's pushing yourself pretty hard then, and then you just
Yeah.
got sick and ended up in the hospital.
Yeah, and everyone was like, you're not allowed to get sick, you have to work through it. I was like, I can't handle it. No one believed me, and then I was in the hospital. I was like, at least I'm getting rest, and no one can, everyone's like afraid to ask me to work. I was like, good.
Yeah. Well, that's good, because I mean, there are people that will keep pushing you, and they don't think about your health, and they just say, you've got to do this, you have an obligation, and you got to learn how to say no, because you shouldn't be in the hospital at 18 for working.
I know, for exhaustion.
Yeah.
Saying a lot of things about me, a lot of false rumors and making a lot of false accusations just based on things that I had done and everything like that. And it was just a lot all at once. So I was like, let me just write a song about this and see if it'll clear any of it up. And it did for a little bit. When I sat down to write the track, we were talking about what we should start writing about. And I just started jotting down some lyrics with Corey Rooney, and then it all came together, and, you know, it came out great. So I'm very thankful for that. And Jake Nava has that twist that he brings to the videos, which is really cool. And he keeps it kind of like everything very glossy and like steamy and sexy, which is nice. We wanted to make it kind of dark and that whole Beyonce vibe. It is basically what I go through if I go out at night, yeah. To be completely honest, there are those people that are waiting for you at the back door. There are those people that are inside the club that you don't know about that are going to be writing for us weekly tomorrow. So it's something you deal with, and I wanted people to know that. I wanted people to see this is actually what, and not just for me, for other people that are in this business and in the music side of it all, and that deal with this. Just for people to say this is what goes on in the day. You love it, but you hate it at the same time, you know. So you learn to deal with it.
Lindsay made a bold step into the music industry with her debut single, Rumors. Originally titled Just What It Is, the song was crafted by producer Corey Rooney, with contributions from Lohan herself and writers Tarrell and TJ Jackson from the group 3T. The song, an upbeat dance pop track with an edgy pop rock influence, was relatable to fans because it addressed Lohan's frustrations with media scrutiny and paparazzi culture, adding an element of authenticity to her public image. The song serves as a direct response to Lohan's frustrations with the invasive paparazzi and relentless tabloid culture surrounding her life. Lohan uses the lyrics to vent her irritation at being constantly watched and scrutinized. In the early 2000s, celebrity relationships with the media were complex and often turbulent, as intense public scrutiny and the rise of tabloid culture heavily influenced public perception and career trajectories. Celebrities were frequently under the microscope, with invasive paparazzi coverage, sensationalist headlines, and 24/7 media scrutiny impacting their lives. Celebrities were frequently under the microscope, with invasive paparazzi coverage, sensationalist headlines, and 24/7 media scrutiny impacting their lives. This constant attention led many stars to feel a loss of privacy, and in some cases, took a serious toll on their mental health. Britney Spears was one of the most notable examples. The relentless paparazzi culture around her every move contributed to her highly publicized personal struggles and eventual breakdown in 2007. Paris Hilton also dealt with paparazzi obsession as her socialite lifestyle became tabloid fodder. This media exposure made her a household name and amplified her celebrity, but it also created a one-dimensional image that she would later work to redefine. Similarly, Lindsay faced constant media scrutiny, with tabloids focusing on her relationships, late-night partying, and personal challenges. The media's intense focus on her mistakes and family's legal troubles created an image of a troubled starlet.
And on a lighter note, everywhere you look, Lindsay Lohan is right there. She's on the cover of the magazines. In fact, we had a sort of experiment, right?
We did. One of our staff went out and bought all the teen magazines that he could find in a very extensive newsstand, and he was trying to find a magazine that didn't have an article on Lindsay Lohan. Couldn't do it. Could not do it.
No,
Every single one of these magazines has an article on you, Lindsay. You!
And she'll be here with us in just a few minutes.
Sonically, Rumours combines pop with touches of urban and electronic production, creating an edgy, club-ready track. Producer Corey Rooney crafted a beat-driven soundscape that aligns with the popular pop rock and dance styles of the early 2000s. The song's bass-heavy beats, synth layers, and catchy hooks give it a rebellious tone, amplifying the defiant message of the track. These sonic elements, along with her sultry vocal delivery, contribute to the song's infectious appeal and give it an attitude that matches the lyrical content. The music video perfectly matched the song's energy and its themes. Directed by Jake Nava, the video showcased Lindsay navigating a nightlife scene filled with flashing cameras and paparazzi. This visual setting underscored her struggle with fame, giving viewers a sense of her desire for freedom from the invasive public eye. It perfectly captures what fame was like in the early 2000s, dodging cameras and slipping away from the crowds. Lindsay moves through dimly lit corridors, echoing the darker themes of the song as she tries to escape the chaos of celebrity life. The visual also featured a dance break which was a standout moment. This section, set on a darkened rooftop against the city skyline, shows the singer performing a choreographed routine as a helicopter circles above her, spotlighting her in a literal and metaphorical sense. The scene is a visual representation of her frustration with constant media surveillance, as she seems to dance defiantly in front of the ever-present eye of fame. During this sequence, Lindsay's movements are sharp and dynamic, matching the song's pulsating beat and capturing dance styles popular at the time. Dance breaks in music videos add visual dynamism, showcasing the artist's physicality and creating a more immersive experience that aligns with the song's energy. They often highlight a song's most intense or energetic moments and are a way to help it stand out, often giving audiences a sequence they can rewatch and imitate.
This is the finale where Lindsay does a dance routine up here on the helipad with her dancers, and it's actually a special mix that was done for the video, and she's hot.
And it's kind of like a dream sequence of me dancing. I don't really know the dance, so I'm kind of messing up here and there, but whatever. So that's basically the sequence. We have some awesome dancer girls here and stuff, and they're doing their thing.
Hi, I'm Fatima, and this is AJ, and we're choreographing Lindsay's video. We had one day of rehearsal, unfortunately. I think she's gonna rock it, though. She's a hot little spicy mama.
I'm getting more into it, but it was a little bit scary in the beginning. And it's still a little nerve-wracking because it's like so open here and everyone's watching, and I've never done this before. But I'll get used to it.
Shake that hair. If the hair gets in your face, work with it, because you're out here fighting the elements. That's how strong you girls are.
Lindsay became aware just 1 week before shooting the video of the dance break, which meant she would have to learn the choreography. Initially nervous, as a first-time solo artist and dancer, she was stepping into a world where she had to embrace a high-energy routine quickly. The critical response to the single was mixed, reflecting a range of opinions on her debut music effort. Some critics felt the song was a guilty pleasure, with a catchy beat that particularly suited club settings. IGN described it as pervasively infectious, recognizing its potential to fill dance floors at the time. However, others were more critical, questioning the decision to tackle themes of paparazzi and media scrutiny for her debut. The video received praise for its visual style and energetic, rebellious vibe. The imagery mirrored the song's lyrics and resonated with fans, helping it reach the top spot on MTV's TRL. Its popularity even led to a nomination for Best Pop Video at the 2005 MTV VMAs, reflecting its impact despite some of the polarized opinions on the song itself. Over time, the song gained a cult following, and in later years, it was even acknowledged by Billboard as one of Lohan's standout musical achievements, cementing its place in early 2000s pop culture. Despite the dramatic music video and promotion, the single had moderate commercial success, although gaining significantly more traction internationally. In the US, it peaked at number 6 on the Billboard Bubbling Under chart. Internationally, it reached the top 10 in Australia, where it also earned a gold certification, and hit top 30 in Austria and Switzerland. The song would also be certified gold in the US in February 2005. The moderate commercial success was a decent outcome given Lindsay's fame as an actress, but expectations were likely higher due to her significant media presence. As one of the most recognized young stars of the time, her transition into music was highly publicized, and her established fan base gave the song strong initial visibility. However, charting outside the top tiers in the US and achieving gold certifications only in select markets suggests that while the song resonated, it did not fully leverage her high-profile image for major chart dominance. A performance of the song on Good Morning America also sparked some controversy regarding lip-syncing. Lindsay's performance was heavily critiqued due to notable parts where her mouth was closed and only the backing track could be heard. While she used backing tracks, her label clarified that only background vocals and instrumental support were pre-recorded to match the album's sound, a common practice for TV performances. Ironically, Lindsay had expressed her intent to perform the song live, distancing herself from incidents like Ashlee Simpson's infamous lip-sync mishap on SNL. Despite her team's explanations, the response was met with some skepticism, as some viewers felt Lindsay might have relied too heavily on the pre-recorded elements. Lindsay's label went on to emphasize that she wanted to maintain the studio quality of her music, particularly for a song like Rumours, which relied on layered production effects. 3 months later, Lindsay released her second single from the project. Unlike her debut single, Over delves into a more rock-influenced sound with elements of pop and angst, drawing some comparisons to the music of other teen pop stars like Avril Lavigne. Its lyrics reflect a narrative of rebellious emotions and frustration, marking a shift to a more mature and intense tone. The words convey a mix of anger, sadness and defiance as Lindsay sings about a sense of liberation from a toxic or unfulfilling situation. Musically, Over reflects these emotional highs and lows through its blend of rock pop influences and upbeat rhythm, adding a sense of catharsis to the narrative. It also reflects a departure from her teen idol image, offering a glimpse into the more complex emotional struggles often experienced in young adulthood. The song, which was about her breakup with Wilmer Valderrama, has an all-American visual, set in a suburban neighborhood with Lohan's character engaging in acts of defiance. Viewing her love interest's family struggles through her window, and later the chaotic emotional release whilst engaging in reckless acts. The single received a mixed critical reception, with some noting that the track fit well with the pop-rock style popular at the time. Critics highlighted the song's blend of defiance and melancholy, driven by moody guitar chords and dramatic vocal delivery. Though her vocals were not powerful by traditional rock standards, some critics appreciated the song's emotional sincerity and thought her raspy lower register brought an authentic touch to the chorus. While some reviews praised Lohan's emotive approach and the music video's intense storyline, others felt that the song's structure, with an uneven chorus pacing, kept it from achieving the strength of similar pop rock hits by contemporaries like Kelly Clarkson or Ashlee Simpson. Ultimately, Over was seen as a credible pop rock entry, yet many critics started to question whether a music career was the right fit for the singer, who was already well regarded for her film work. The mixed reception also affected its commercial performance. The track just missed the Billboard Hot 100 as it reached #1 on the Bubbling Under charts. It did find small success outside the States, reaching 27 in the UK and Australia. At this point, the two singles released struggled to gain traction, signalling challenges for Lindsay to establish herself as a singer alongside her acting. One of the major impacts of this was that industry observers began questioning whether audiences wanted to see her as a pop star or preferred her solely in movies. The underwhelming chart performance suggested that Lohan's fans might not have been fully convinced by her music pivot. This was despite the high-profile involvement of songwriters like Cara and John. Many compare Lindsay with other teenage singers of the time, including Hilary Duff. However, unlike Hilary, who was a Disney Channel star with a built-in promotional machine, Lohan did not have a single dedicated platform to promote her music consistently. While Lohan's film success, particularly in Mean Girls and Freaky Friday, made her a household name, it didn't offer the same level of cross-promotion across dedicated networks. This meant Lohan's music couldn't reach her core audience as directly and consistently, leaving her at a disadvantage in connecting her acting fan base with her music career. Another issue may have been the choice of her debut single. In the world of music, a debut single is more than just a song. It's an introduction and a declaration. For an artist, especially one crossing over from acting, this release is crucial in establishing credibility, defining their musical identity, and setting audience expectations. Through this first release, listeners get a glimpse into the artist's style, whether it's pop, rock, or something entirely unique. Successful debuts like Britney Spears' Baby One More Time or Avril Lavigne's Complicated don't just capture listeners, they set the stage for everything that follows. These singles show versatility or niche strength, establishing an artist's unique place in the industry. But for actors like Lindsay, a debut single can be a balancing act, straddling an existing public image with a new musical direction. Her track Rumours provided a peek into her real-life challenges with fame and media, aiming to shape her as a serious artist beyond her acting career. Yet, the single also had to resonate musically, keeping in line with pop expectations. While Rumours was an edgy, club-like anthem reflecting her frustrations and complex relationship with the media, it stood apart from the rest of her album, which leaned more toward a pop-rock aesthetic. For Lindsay, crafting a pop star image was far from simple. Unlike the wholesome, family-friendly personas that typified many young pop idols, Lohan's public life leaned towards the mature and provocative. Regularly making tabloid headlines for her personal escapades, she quickly developed a reputation that set her apart from her Disney Channel peers. Her debut single offered a raw, edgy perspective on fame that reflected her reality. Yet, this edgy image diverged sharply from her roles in family-friendly films, creating a complex contrast. On one side, she was a relatable on-screen teen. On the other, a young celebrity challenging media scrutiny. This duality led to a mixed reception from audiences, leaving many wondering where Lindsay fit within the pop music landscape. The album's title track, Speak, was planned to be the third single from the project. However, in an attempt to overcome some of the challenges related to her image, First was chosen, which saw both music and film worlds converge. Released in May 2005, the song was used as a promotional tie-in with her Disney movie Herbie Fully Loaded. Thematically, the single explored the themes of wanting to be prioritized, while with strategic intent, it also echoed Lohan's on-screen character's competitive spirit. However, the single's moderate success hinted at a deeper challenge, balancing a maturing music image with the family-friendly image that her acting roles cultivated. While the song did chart in countries like Australia, it didn't find a strong foothold in the US, underscoring the complex relationship between Lindsay's dual careers as she navigated her transition from screen to stage.
Talking about what I go through and what everyone goes through, and just about myself. That's why I titled it Speak about everything, love, hate. A lot of politics are going on at the time, just everything that goes on in your life, just talk about it. I wanted a CD where if you're upset, you can kind of be upset and listen to that track that's kind of like Avril Lavigne in a way, and then you could also listen to the more fun Gwen Stefani type dance track, so hopefully people will see it like that. I really like Over. I love Speak just because that was actually the last song I recorded, and it was just a really fun song to do. Over had a lot of just about everything that's been going on now that was very personal, and I really enjoyed that. I like Nobody Till You because it's a fun song. It's one of those songs that a lot of people can just relate to. I don't know, I like them all. My movies are geared towards younger kids because those are my characters that I've been playing. So my music is me. It's not a character. It's not someone that's written about, and it's just me, Lindsay. It's how I am. So I wanted to gear it towards some of the songs are more serious about a relationship or just in general, and trying to find yourself, anything but me. And I think some of the lyrics are a little bit different than they would have been if I was focusing so much on the kids and stuff. But I wanted to gear to whoever's going to listen to it. I don't really want to base it on anything and expect anything because I don't want to get my hopes up. So we'll see what happens and see who likes it and what age generation likes it and such. Always the first album, you're kind of just trying to find you in a way, and it's kind of, you're just trying to step into it. And because this is my first album ever, I kind of played it a little safer than I normally would have, just because I wanted people to accept it and just like it for what it is. And I mean, I wrote a lot of the songs, which was important to me, just so I could lyrically tell people how I feel and stuff. But I think the second album, hopefully, I'll be able to be more myself. You know, you'll evolve with people, and it'll be a little bit more, the lyrics will be a little bit more edgy and such. But for this one, I feel like this is as much as me as you can get.
When the album released, it received a range of critical responses. Some reviewers praised her effort to merge her pop career with her acting fame, but others criticized the album's cohesiveness and originality. The album's pop rock and dance pop blend highlighted her attempt to carve out a rebellious, mature sound. However, critics noted that while Speak had catchy moments, much of the album struggled to stand out from the typical teen pop of the era. Despite these critiques and the 3 singles struggling to gain chart placement, Speak performed well commercially, attaining platinum status a month after its release in the US. This achievement demonstrated that Lindsay had a dedicated fan base willing to support her music career. The album's performance reinforced her crossover appeal, even if critical response was divided. Lindsay Lohan's Speak has quietly earned its place as a cultural time capsule, reflecting the height of the early 2000s celebrity culture. Initially met with mixed reviews, the album has since found a dedicated cult following. What was once seen as a pop product designed to capitalize on Lohan's fame has evolved into a nostalgic artifact for fans and critics alike, encapsulating the celebrity-driven media landscape of the time. Critics of the album now look back on its release as emblematic of an era when personal lives were as much a part of the celebrity package as the music itself. Lohan's personal struggles, played out on the world stage, were mirrored in the album's tracks, creating a unique relationship between artist and audience. This authenticity, even if often messy, has led to a resurgence of interest, as fans reflect on the complexity of Lohan's career during that period. For a generation that witnessed the rise of paparazzi culture and the public's obsession with celebrity, Speak has come to represent more than just a debut album. It remains a snapshot of a cultural moment, capturing both the personal and musical complexities as she stood at the crossroads of fame and identity.